Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Knight, and Bleach Rebirth of Souls is finally here. I was beyond excited for this game, and even though the PC port is a little rough at the moment, we're so back. We're here, day one, you already know, and today we're just gonna go through every character on the roster. Now that I have a decent amount of games on everyone, I just want to give like early impressions of the game and early impressions of all the characters for anyone that's maybe wondering who's a bit more fun than expected and who they want to play, etc, etc. So I'm gonna run through from the characters I have the most games on to the characters I have the least on, and keep in mind this is just super early impressions, so there's some characters I only have like 5 to 10 games on, but I've played a decent amount of most of the roster, and there were some surprises that were way more fun than expected. Jeez. And there were some that were a little less, I wish they had more mechanics to them type characters. So again, I'm gonna go through from the characters I played most to the characters I played the least, and just tell you a bit of my first thoughts about them. And this does exclude Mugetsu Ichigo because it's kind of unobtainable on PC right now because the story mode just spam crashes. But I mean, my prediction for Mugetsu Ichigo is he's gonna be in my top 3 because the mechanic of just get 3 things and then they die seems super fun. But other than that, let's just get going on every single character and some first early impressions about how we're feeling on them. So first up, naturally, we have my boy Toshiro, most played, most loved, my boy, love him so much, and I'm pretty happy with how he is in this game, to be honest. He has a little ice pedal mechanic, which is kind of sick, specific to Hyorimaru. All of his Konpaku destroy moves look crazy. They gave him Ryusenka as the first one, and the sub voice actor streaming that is just music to my ears. And then his other break move is like the huge ice tower with all the flower petals he used to beat Haribel. So really glad with the thematics they did on Toshiro, and his gameplay is super fun. He plays a little bit like Jump Force Toshiro, just with like some more combo potential. Like his medium's got some really nice range once Hyorimaru's on. You know, the ice mechanic is beautiful, and I mean I'm happy with my boy. That's all I'll say. I'm gonna try to keep these a bit more brief since there's a lot of characters to get through, but overall Toshiro happy, super fun, love playing him. Let's just go next to a character I knew I was gonna play but didn't realize I would love this much. Might be the most fun in this game I've had so far, and that is Rangiku. Oh my god, this character is so fun. So normal Rangiku is just kind of pretty basic, pretty standard, got some fun moves, some decent spacing with her Hado and whatnot, but once you pop fucking, wait a minute, Hinako, bro. Once you pop Hinako, oh my god, this character. So she can place like her Ash on the floor, and what it does is just like extend her auto attack range. Oh my god, I've never had so much fun messing around with a character. Super in love with Rangiku's gameplay. Might be like, I thought she was gonna be like a top 5 character, maybe top 6 for me to play. She might be like my secondary next to Toshiro, to be honest, maybe even main. This character has been really fun recently, so love Rangiku. Let's keep going because again, a lot of characters to get through. Next up is Starrk, and Starrk is an interesting one. He was a little bit more complex than I thought he would be from the trailer, but once you get the hang of him and you start blasting, yo, Starrk's super sick, honestly. I don't know how to get through these as fast as possible, but TLDR, interesting mechanic, a little bit harder to get off once your opponents start having brains, but for the most part, Starrk has been really fun. Love the blasting. It looks a little weird that like some of his normal shots don't have like the blue coming out of them, but for the most part, Starrk's been really fun. Love him. No complaints there. Next up is Shinji, who I like him, but I'm slightly disappointed with this gameplay. He'll still be like a top 5 to 8 character for me, but Shinji, Hiyori just being one of his moves is kind of weird, and Sakanade not being like his awakening or whatever is a little weird. But I mean, the Hollow Mask is super fun, don't get me wrong. He's full of style points in this game, and I do enjoy playing him. It's just I feel like they could have done so much more with Sakanade, bro. Like maybe not reverse controls, but like even just like make it look kind of different. Like I don't know. I like Shinji. He's fun, but I do wish we could have got a bit more out of him. Next up is the biggest surprise for me in terms of fun, Nell. Nell has been one of the most fun characters in this game, and I can't even, her combos just go so crazy, bro. And Gamusa, crazy awakening, by the way. Like I thought, I don't even know what I thought, but goddamn, bro, the Nell combos, you hit it with a pa 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 pa, and then into her Sarah with her 2 friends, bro. It is is crazy. Nell's been really fun. I expected her to be somewhere in my top 10, but Nell's looking like top 5 material, bro. Nell has been extraordinarily fun. Super happy with Nell. Absolutely no complaints on this one. Then next up we have Gin. Gin has actually pretty much met my expectations. Super fun, has the range, super stylish. Loving Gin so far. His like a unique attack, like its hold circle or B move, gives him a little poke in neutral, which is kind of nice for when you're a bit farther away with no option to teleport and you want to get behind them. So that's pretty nice. And then Kamishini no Yari is just so fun to mess around with. So really loving Gin so far. Next up was a big surprise for me, and that was Uryu. Uryu's really fun in this game, and he's so flashy with his pa and his teleport everywhere. Yeah, no, Uryu, I was not expecting. I thought he was gonna be like a full true zoner, which he kinda is, but the combos on Uryu are nasty, bro. He's like teleporting behind you a billion times and then into his arrow. Like his kit goes into itself really well and flows nicely. So I was really surprised with Uryu, and if you get to Let's Steal, it is a sick reawakening. And yeah, a very big surprise on Uryu. If you're gonna try him out, please do. He's very fun, and one of the biggest surprises one of the biggest surprises for me in this game. Next up is Ulquiorra, who I didn't expect I would want to play that much, but Ulquiorra has been really fun so far. Kinda loving him. The Murcielago combos are absolutely nasty, and you can pretty much combo all of his combos into Zero, which is super nice, and then his reawakening is just absolutely baller. So Ulquiorra was a lot more fun than expected, so I know all of the Ulquiorra fans are going to be pretty happy with that one. Next up is base Ichigo, and I just kind of love it, to be honest. Mostly his main gameplay, as you would expect, is just pretty basic, being like the tried and true main character, but the second he pops Tensa Zangetsu, oh, it plays like how it looks in the anime, and that's the biggest compliment I could give it. Base Ichigo has actually been so fun, and you get some crazy nasty combos with Zangetsu, so super recommend, enjoying it a lot. Really fun. Next up is Byakuya, who I expected to play, but he is really cool, honestly. He's kind of like a stance character in this game, where he can go between his sword and Senbon Sakura Shikai, which is super cool so far. And then I just kind of like his range, and he can attack you from pretty much anywhere with like his unique ability, plus just like his natural range he gets from Senbon Sakura. So Byakuya, I need a couple more games on him to see really how it combos at like higher level, but so far Byakuya's been really fun. And even Senbon Sakura Kageyoshi, once you get there, you can just start doing some pretty crazy things. So I'm really liking him so far. No complaints. Next up is Tyr, and Tyr I think is gonna be like the most underrated character in this game, not from like strength wise, but from fun wise. Tyr's been a blast to play, and I've only seen like a couple, maybe one or two other Tyr players. She's super fun in this game. The only thing I wish she had more water built into like her moveset naturally, but from what's there, Tyr's really fun, combo demon, really good damage with awakening, and yeah, no, big surprise. Tyr's been super fun, so highly recommend that one. Next up is Hollow Mask Ichigo, and I'm a little mixed on this one, but for the most part he's pretty fun. He is squishy as paper, but popping the mask, everything super fun, super fluid at least, and I've been enjoying him. No complaints really, but I do feel like even though I really like the character, I feel like he is the weakest of the 3 Ichigos, except, I mean, Vasto Lorde's baller, but in general I feel like the other 2 Ichigos surpass him for me. Even though I haven't even fucking tried Mugetsu Ichigo yet, but you know, Mugetsu baby. But I mean, it's fun, but not my favorite Ichigo to play, at least. Sorry, that was a weird hiccup. Next up is Yoruichi, and Yoruichi is a combo fiend in this game. Holy god. If you like Rushdown, pick this character, bro. Yoruichi is so fast and does so much combos in this game. It's really fun to watch, honestly. I find Yoruichi has like some super flashy things, and I have no complaints with her. I'm really happy with how Yoruichi is right now. So if you thought you'd like her, you'll probably love her, is the best I can say. Then right after Yoruichi, fittingly, we have Soi Fon, and Soi Fon's been super fun. I'm gonna say it right off the bat. The thing I'm disappointed of with this character her is that she doesn't use Susumibachi, or I think I butchered that pronunciation. She doesn't use her Shikai pretty much at all, and her Bankai is only like one of the Kikon break moves, like right at the end. So you're pretty much just stuck with like normal Shunko and her sword for the most part, which it is fun, and I'm actually really like, I really enjoyed my time playing Soi Fon, but it is kind of sad that she doesn't really get to use her tools, which it makes sense because her Shikai in the anime is essentially just like a 2-touch move, which wouldn't really make sense. But and her Bankai is a 1-touch move, which doesn't really make sense. So I get it, but at the same time, it's kind of unfortunate, if you know what I mean. Next up is Hisagi, and god damn, Hisagi in this game is baller, by the way. Like, I mean, normal Hisagi is like kind of like a whatever, it's the same as Rangiku, but the second Kaze Shini comes out, yo, Hisagi, I was not expecting him to be this fun, and he's fast, and he can attack like his heavy move once you have Kaze Shini out, covers like a certain range, but like lacks up close to you, which is a really cool idea. And I mean, you can just space so nicely on him, and Hisagi, very surprising, super fun, and way succeeded my expectations for Hisagi in this game at the very least. Next up is Mayuri, and Mayuri has been pretty fun. I mean, I don't know what I expected his gameplay to be like. He has like some poison stacking, but I wish his Bankai did a little bit more than what it does. For the most part, it's kind of in the background, but you get some interaction. But Mayuri has been super solid, super fun, about where I expected him to be. He's around the middle of the pack in terms of fun for me, and I enjoyed my time on him at the very least. Next up, we have Chad, who I could not imagine losing, and Chad's been pretty fun, but kind of outshined by Yoruichi a little bit, which hurts me to say because I really wanted to play Chad a lot, but he is a little basic. He's super close range, which makes sense, and he is really fun, don't get me wrong. Those directos be hitting super hard, but I feel like if you want to play a close-up rushdown character, most people are going to default to Yoruichi, but Chad is like the less speed, more heavy one, which kind of hits super hard, and I'm happy for the future of it, bro. I can't wait for the Chad tech to come out, but super fun at the very least, even though I feel like people are going to find Yoruichi more exciting. But I mean, I can't wait to see what the Chad players come up with, you know what I mean? Next up is Rukia, who is about right in the middle where I expected. She's fun, but she's nothing crazy. Her Kompaku break moves are really flashy, and they really did make Sodeno Shirayuki look like beautiful, which is really nice. Do wish we had some Blood War stuff for her, but at the same time, Rukia, super middle of the pack where I expected. Fine with her, no complaints. Then next up, we have my boy Kenpachi, and I really like what they did with Kenny, to be honest. They made him feel like heavy. I thought they were gonna make him fast and like super berserker like, but they just really went for that like he can cut through anything heavy demon gameplay, and he just kind of radiates aura in this game, to be honest, as Kenpachi should. And the second that eye patch comes off, he just does so much damage. And I think the Kenpachi fans, I'm not like, I love Kenpachi, but he's never been like a top 10 favorite for me, but I think those guys that really love Kenpachi are gonna have a blast playing him. So I am pretty excited for the Kenpachi fans, and he's about where I expected. No complaints, really. Next up, we have Shunsui, and Shunsui is very fun and very unique in this game. First off, I really like his like circle unique move where he just spins in a circle and you can kind of use it for combos. Really like that, even though it's super weird. But the main thing about Shunsui obviously is Katen Kyokatsu gives you the random mini games, and for the most part, I'm really enjoying them, to be honest. The hot potato one in particular has been really fun so far, and I think it's gonna be more of a specialist character, but he does seem like good to play. He actually seems really strong too, so I mean, I'm excited to see what people do with him. And yeah, no complaints for Shunsui, man. Shunsui's been baller so far. Next up, we have a character I despise in the anime. I hate this guy. I'm his #1 op. But we have Tosen, and while I haven't played too much games on him, he is really unique, and I did want to talk about him a little bit. So Tosen, the main thing is his Bankai actually works in this game, which is so weird. When he pops it, he becomes like, you can't see him unless you're really up close, which is kind of how it worked up in the anime a little bit, even though like, you know what I mean. But I didn't expect expect it to like transition to gameplay, kind of like how no one expected Shinji's Sakanare to transfer, which I kind of didn't, but Tosen's kind of does, and it's really unique and it's really fun to play as and against. So honestly, I hate to say it, but props to Tosen this time. His gameplay kind of works out, and you know, big ups honestly. Next up we have Renji, who is pretty middle of the road for me. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about like the supersized like Naruto Revolution Awakening. Zabimaru is fun, but I feel like I don't enjoy the Hihio Zabimaru form that much, and it is kind of obnoxious to play against. I might just not really fully grasp all of it yet, but for the most part, they're not super fun to play as or against. Pretty middle of the road for Renji on me, but that's kind of what I expected. I don't mind him, and like I have fun with most characters in this game, to be honest, but it's not fully for me, at least. I feel like the people that like the Hihio Zabimaru are gonna have a blast, but for me, not my personal favorite so far. Next up, we have Izuru, and Izuru's been pretty fun. I expected to relatively enjoy him, but he's gone above expectations, I can say so far. Izuru's been super fun. The Wapizge axe, like I like the mechanic, how they implemented like the gaining weights type things for him. Like how the mechanic was implemented, and he's been pretty fun so far. And his execution, like where he puts the sword under your neck and pulls up move for the Kikon break, I was really hoping they would do it, and they did. Super cool touch on that one. So Izuru's been really fun and kind of above expectation. Really loving him so far. Next up we have Old Man Yama, and this one is gonna be mixed, but for the wrong reason. So Yama in this game actually plays super fucking cool, bro. He's actually a baller. He kind of hurts himself to do more damage, but boy does this guy do damage. And when he pulls out Ryu Jinjaka, it is really cool to see. But I feel like since Blood War was kind of so recent, I feel like so many people are gonna wish he had Zankan no Tachi, and because he doesn't, it feels a little empty. But at the same time, for what it is, Yama's really fun, honestly, and like I don't have any complaints about him. I know some people said he killed himself a little too fast, but I'm really liking what they did with Yama, and I can't wait to see what some crazy players that put some time into him get to do it on him. So I'm fine with Yama as things stand. Next up we have Ikkaku, and I'm perfectly fine with them, honestly. The main thing for me was if his Bankai would be as cool as it was in the anime, and they pretty much one for one the animation and the voice line in the sub at least. So I'm fine with Ikkaku, man, and his Bankai does damage. So I didn't get too many games on him. I only have like 3, 4, or 5, something like that, probably around 4 games on him, but those games have been pretty fun, and I'm looking forward to the future and getting some more time on Ikkaku. So pretty plus thumbs up all around so far on that one. Next up is Komamura, and well, I personally don't like this character too much. Oh my god, voice crack, too much. But Komamura seems strong at the very least. Renji seems like his big awakening is kind of like sluggish, but for some reason Komamura, even before he goes into awakening, just seems really like a solid character. I feel like he's gonna be at least B tier, if not higher. He seems really solid, and Kokujo Tengen Myo has been, I mean, it's cool at the very least. I don't have too many games on Komamura, but I mean, from what I've seen and what I've played, he feels like a solid character, which for me, who wasn't really interested in him that much, is probably the best thing I can say, and I'm excited to see where it goes at the very least. Next up is Kaien, who I thought would actually just be Aranero, but they really just made it Kaien Shiba, and he is better than I expected, to be honest. He's a spear character, which is kind of unique to like him and Ikkaku, but he actually has the water that Tier was missing, which is super sick to see, since we didn't really get to see that much of Kaien in the anime or the manga. So I'm just kind of happy he's here, to be honest, and I hope we get a little bit more from him. Maybe like, actually I haven't really finished the story mode, so maybe there is, but I mean, I'm happy he's here. I'm happy we can see what he can do, and really no complaints. He's been kind of fun so far. Next up we we have Grimmjow. And Grimmjow, I've loved my games on him, man. Pantera is really, really fun to play around with, and I think he's one of the best characters for adapting how he looks and feels in the anime to how he feels in game. So Grimmjow players or people that love this character are really gonna like this character in this game. This one, like how Toshiro is kind of similar to how he was in Jump Force, Grimmjow is a lot more different. He feels different, at least. He feels a lot less heavy and a lot more combo berserker focused in this game than he did in Jump Force. So I'm super happy with Grimmjow. I feel like this is a lot better of a fit for him than it was in Jump Force, and I'm super happy with him. No complaints on this one. Next up is Nnoitra, and Nnoitra, I don't really like the gameplay for him, but I feel like if there's someone that likes Nnoitra, I feel like he's gonna be a one-trick character. I feel like not that many people are gonna play him, but the people that do are gonna be absolutely insane on him. And don't get me wrong, his awakening feels really strong. It's just not for me, and that might be because I'm not his biggest fan, but I don't dislike him in the show and in the manga, but his gameplay, it just doesn't really hit for me. But again, I feel like he's gonna be the one-trick character. I gotta keep my eye on him, since I also don't have too many games on him, so maybe I'll like him once I'm more familiar with the game and whatever and played a lot more matches. But as of now, he's just on the watch list, so we'll see. Next up is Aizen, and I know I guess people don't really know this. I'm a firm believer this guy's a little overrated, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Kubo lets him ore farm permanently, and I mean, you gotta love Aizen to a certain extent, but I've never been his super fan like a lot of people are. But his gameplay, it's okay. Honestly, the biggest plus I can give for Aizen gameplay is I like how they implemented Kyoka Soigetsu, to be honest. The illusion tech is pretty nice, and it was probably the best way they could have implemented it. I'm not super fan of Chrysalis form. It's kind of weird. It plays like a worse version of base Ichigo or like Ulquiorra, in my opinion. But I mean, it's not bad. It's definitely, if you like Aizen, you're gonna have a fun time on Aizen. And I know you don't get to reawakening every game, but if you do get to reawakening, Aizen's is super sick, bro. I gotta be honest, his reawakening feels really cool, and it is super fun to play. So Aizen, I'm kind of just a hater, but I mean, if you like Aizen, you're going to enjoy Aizen. And last up on the list is Szayelaporro, and he's just too weird for me, bro. Szayelaporro is probably like actually designed to be like a one-trick character with like his res and all of his mechanics, but I mean, on it, I'ma be real. I haven't took other than like the small trailer that came with them, I haven't even took time to read them. I dropped like 2 games on them. This is the character I by far know the least about gameplay wise. So Szayelaporro, I'm gonna need more games on. I'm gonna need to wait and see. He could end up being super annoying and cringe because of how he's made with all his mechanics, or he could just be absolutely trash. Not sure, but this one is the biggest question mark for me, and we are going to have to see. So overall, TLDR, the characters that I'm most surprised with and most impressed with were Uryu, Ulquiorra, Tyr, and Hisagi. Those were the characters I had mid expectations for. Oh, and Nell. I forgot Nell. Those were the characters I had the most mid expectations for that ended up being absolutely blast to play. Super fun. My current like top 5 that I'm enjoying is Toshiro, Rangiku, Starrk, maybe Nell and Shinji, Nell and Gin, one of those combination. Those are the characters I'm really putting time into right now. Hopefully soon we'll get to Ichigo. But yeah, Rangiku is probably the biggest jump from like, oh, I'm gonna play this character to damn, I'm really gonna put time into this character. My 2 most wanted characters right now would probably have to be Tsukishima and Gremmy. Those are my 2 favorites that aren't in the game, and I really hope if this game does well, they'll add like a story DLC for Fullbringer arc and just add like Grimmjow and everyone in, because I really am feeling Tsukishima right now. That I feel like his character would be super crazy, and obviously all the Stern Ritter would be baller, but I really can't see them doing it. I know they're gonna add a couple with DLC, but I'm assuming that's just gonna be like Yuhaba, Hashwalth, and a couple others. But if we end up getting Gremmy, I'll be super happy. If we end up getting Tsukishima, I'll be super happy. But overall impressions with the game, other than the PC port, super happy. My only complaints are obviously the bugs on PC are pretty annoying, and I wish there was D-pad movement. It kind of says, I don't know what the setting even means that there's like a D-pad thing, but for the most part, you kind of have to move with joystick, and it's also kind of inverted and a little weird to get used to. But the actual game, when the game works, bro. I was so worried this game was going to be like a mid, forget about it, but no, this game is super fun, and I think people are actually going to play and put time into it. So I mean, I'm here for it, man, and we'll see how it goes. I'll have a lot more videos on it in the near future, but that is just my first impression on all the characters. I hope you enjoyed, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, and tell me your top 5 of who you've been picking up and having a fun time with. For me, I already gave it to you, but Toshiro and Rangiku especially, I'm about to go put some more games into. So that's it for me. That's what I'm thinking so far, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and mugetsu that subscribe button, and I hope you all have a good night.